Okay, the page everyone sees on their screen is the Seller Tools homepage. You simply log on to your seller account, and this is what you should see as your homepage. It's divided up into 5 different areas. The area we're going to pay particular attention to is the Manage New SKUs area. Now, in order to get to the New SKU tool, we're going to click the Add New SKUs link right here under Manage New SKUs. Now, had I not had these other test SKUs in here, you would see just 2 rows. The first row would be the column titles, which is action status, GTIN, manufacturer name, manufacturer part number. Tells you a little bit about the SKU that you just added. And the only other row would be the add row. So what I'm going to do is delete this one. Simple enough, it's gone now. And I'm going to keep this one because it's a good example of something else. In fact, I know what that's a good example of for clothes and shoes. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through the New SKU tool using some data I've already prepped and just go through it field by field. You'll notice that there's some instructions up here, which you should read. But the advantage of using the New SKU tool is that you cannot complete the submission of your product without giving us the proper data. The tool won't allow you to continue. So you know once you've completed the New SKU tool, your product will be ready to list in 24 hours. New SKU tool does not list your products for sale. What it does is give us the product data that we need to create that product in our database or catalog. You will still have to list that product for sale. You wait for 24 hours after you've made your new product submission, and I'll show you exactly where to go to list those products for sale. Okay? So let's start by clicking the Add button. And what that's telling the system is that we're going to add a new product. It takes us to this page. The first thing you need to do is to determine which department this product is going to reside in. And we're going to select Games for today. Now in the Games category, our first field that we need to add data to is called the GTIN field. This is where you would put the UPC or the European equivalent called the EAN. This is the UPC, more familiar in the United States, is absolutely required for most categories we have here at Buy.com. There are a couple of exceptions. If you are a apparel seller, then you would not need to supply us with the UPC. It's not required for apparel. Jewelry, UPC is also not required, but jewelry is an approved category. Therefore, you cannot add jewelry items using the New SKU tool. Okay? So let's go ahead and add the UPC. Now, the UPC needs to be 12 or 14 digits in length. Anything less than 12 will cause an error. UPCs must be unique, though. The whole notion behind the UPC is it's a very unique product code across all your products. Okay. Now, the next field is manufacturer name. In this case, it's Microsoft. It could be any of the brand or your own brand of product. I know some apparel sellers and some jewelry sellers as well, or everything else. They manufacture their own products, and therefore they have their own brand. You would want to put that brand here. The manufacturer part number is the part number that the manufacturer assigns to the product you're trying to add to our database. It could be any alphanumeric. Now, the seller SKU is a unique identifier to Buy.com. The seller SKU can be used to list products for sale when using the inventory feed. remember, right now we're using the new product GUI, and what this new product GUI or tool does is give us the product data we need to create the products in our system. However, you still need to list the products either using the inventory feed or another online tool that we have, and I'll show you the online tool. The inventory feed has a field that uses the seller SKU. It could be the same thing as the manufacturer part number. It could be your internally generated part number, or it could be the UPC. You just need to ensure that it's unique across all your products. This is your key back to the SKU to list it if you're using the inventory feed. We're not going to be covering the inventory feed today, but I need to explain to you the importance of the seller SKU. The title, of course, is the title of your product. In this case today, it's Modern Warfare. Be sure that you put a very meaningful title in. Right here I put Modern Warfare 3, but be aware that the words that you use for the title will be inserted into our search. So be sure to use a title that's very meaningful when it comes to customers trying to find your product in our database or in our catalog on the site. The description is your product description, and it is one block of text. You can't see it very clearly here, but it's really a continuous line of text with proper grammar and punctuation. Just because you're writing something in one big long paragraph doesn't mean you ignore punctuation and proper grammar. What is not allowed in here are special characters, HTML, tabs, paragraphs. One big block of text is all that we'll accept. Next is the weight, which is obviously the weight of the product, the shipping weight of the product. We're going to put this at 1 pound. Notice I didn't put LBS or LB. This is a strictly numerical field. You don't need to put the LB or LBS because we're automatically assuming pounds. If you're using half a pound, it would be 0.5, 0.3 pounds, 3. In this example, we're using 1. Now, the features are the bullet-pointed sentences that you see on the product page. Let me see if I can find one for you really fast here so you can have a really good idea of what we're doing here. Battlefield. Okay, here's our product title. This is the product description, and these are the features, the bullet-pointed features. You'll see some other things here that obviously this page is built out for promotion. Product managers, or what we call our category experts, put these extra elements in here. These are not standard, and these will not, and there's no ability to add any of this YouTube video or extra graphics when adding a new product using the new product tool. Okay, just wanted to point out this section here. This is the features. It's bullet pointed automatically, so you don't need to include any of that. And it does not have the bolding here. There's no HTML. So again, this is a completely built-out page for special promotion. You're allowed up to 3 features. I hit the Enter key to get to the next feature. And hit the Enter key again. Okay. So the next field is called the MSRP, which is really the full retail price of your product. There are some sellers that have a list price, and this is actually the MSRP. $59.99 is the full retail price of the product. Buy.com is selling it for $55.99. That is the sell price of your product. You are not determining the sell price using the new product tool. The MSRP is the full retail price of the product. And in this case, it's going to be $59.99. No money symbols. It's a strictly numerical field. Now, the next field, keywords, is not a required field. And it's very important to note that we may or may not use the keywords that you submit. The keywords should be something above and beyond what's already presented in the title. As I mentioned before, the title, all the words in the title are inserted into our search. Keywords, therefore, should be above and beyond. If you're simply chopping up the title and putting those as keywords, you're really not doing anything beneficial. Again, the keywords may or may not be used. We've had a number of sellers in the past use keywords in such a way that it brings attention to their product using keywords that are not related to that product. The result was having search results that was pulling up products that wasn't even related to the keyword search. So for example, a seller who's selling a calculator wanted to bring attention to their product, so they put Apple iPad or Apple iPhone or Apple iTouch as a keyword. So when someone used those keywords, you get a very different product than what was really intended. This misuse of keywords was rampant, so all keywords are subject to the category manager's approval. Again, they may or may not be used. If you use a good title, then you won't have to worry about using the keywords. They are optional. However, if you do decide to put them in there, be very, very aware we may or may not use them. Okay? I wanted to make that point very clear because we have some sellers question us in the past as to why their keywords are not working. It's not that they're not working, it's that we have decided not to use them. Okay, let's click the next button. Now, had my page had any errors in it, the next button would have taken me back to the original page, and up top you would see all the error codes or error messages that were associated with that page. It will tell you exactly what fields you need to correct before you can continue on to the product images. Up top, if you hadn't noticed before, I'd like to point out that this is a progress timeline. We've satisfied the core information portion of the new product tool or the new SKU tool. Now we're into product images. Now the product images are to be entered as what we call an image URL. And these URLs need to be absolute, meaning that they start with HTTPS and end with a .jpg. So I simply cut and pasted my image URL, and usually when you click out of the field, you'll see the image on there. But this one does not seem to be working, so what I'm going to do is get one that does. And I'll just take it off the buy.com site. And this is a good exercise as well, so you know where to get the image URL from. So here I'm on the buy.com site. What I want to do is get the big product image here. What I do is I right-click, look at the properties, and then want to grab this address URL. That is the address or the image URL for the image that I want to use. I copy it, go back here, and I paste it into this field. And it looks like my functionality isn't working over there. Usually there'd be an image over here that that would show if the URL is fine. I'm going to test my URL to make sure that it is fine. Yeah, it's fine. So it looks like It will probably work. Okay, let's go back here. I want to make sure there's nothing. Okay, so let's use that image. Now, when adding an image URL, be very cognizant of the size. Also, make sure that you follow these image rules up here. Must be at least 500 pixels in width or in height, no more than 5 megabytes in size. Larger the better, up to 5 megabytes. Needs to be JPG or JPEG format. Only contain the product being sold. Be in focus with realistic color and a pure white background. Cannot contain additional text graphics or inset images. There are some exceptions. Those being, let's say you're selling furniture or sofa, and obviously you want to have that sofa be in a living room setting. Those are the type of exceptions that we will grant. Because we know that having a sofa in a realistic background will help you sell the product. However, if you're selling electronics and you give us something that's not well in focus or is not or has any additional text or anything like that, then we will reject that image. We don't create any reports. We don't send out any emails. We don't have anything regarding rejected images. The good thing about this tool is that it will not allow you to continue without putting a correct image in. Now, this is the main image, which is this image here. You could also have additional images, which are these down here. Again, the additional images follow the same rules. All right, so let's see if I can continue on to the next page. There we go. It accepted it. If my image URL was not accepted, again, one of the advantages of using the new product tool is that it won't allow you to continue without making the proper selections. So we're now at the category portion of the new product tool. I'm going to select, this is going to be an Xbox 360 game. And it's game. And that's all there is to it. We selected games as a subcategory of Xbox 360, which is a category under games, the department. I'm going to click next again. Now here is the attribute section. If you look to your left, we have 3 attributes: game genre, ESRB rating, maximum number of players, or max number of players. You'll notice which ones are required. The ones that are required means that you need to provide data for that or make a selection for that. ESRB rating, maximum number of players, both do not have a required in red. Therefore, you can leave these blank or untouched if you like. However, we must make a selection for game genre. I'm going to select action. Now, since these 2 are here, obviously, the more content, the better. So if you would like to supply content for these optional attributes, then feel free to do so. I'm going to check mature and maximum number of players, I believe is 2. So these are the attributes. Again, we have game genre, ESRB rating, max number of players. You can tell which ones are required because it says required in red, and which ones are optional. Again, the more content, the better, but these do not need any selection or data if you decide that you don't want to provide them. We'll click the next button, and here is our product. The status is that it's good to go, meaning that it's ready for submission. It will not be submitted until I hit the submit button. So what you can do is add a number of new products, and you have the ability to review them any number of times you like just by clicking the edit button to make sure everything is correct. And then once you're confident that the data that you're giving us is good, go ahead and click the submit button. And what it'll do is it'll send this product data to our system so that the new product can get created ready for you to list. you'll have to wait 24 hours before that product can be listed. So how do we list that product? The easiest way, and the way we'll review today, because it is under the same heading, is View Your New SKUs, right here. View Your New SKUs. It's under Manage New SKUs. The major category is Manage New SKUs. So let's look at what we have. When you click the text link, it takes you to this page. You could search for a very specific product or click the search button without messing with the search ID or sort by, and it'll bring up all your new products. How do you know which ones are new? Well, if you look all the way to the right, you'll see that these products, the new ones that haven't been listed yet, will have this text link, Add Listing. That means all these products are not listed yet. They're waiting to be listed. Again, the new SKU tool does not list your products for sale. It doesn't determine pricing, doesn't determine how much you have. All it does, it gives us the basic product content, product data that we need to create that product so that it's available for you to list. To list that product, simply click Add a Listing, and it takes you to the listing page. What you want to do is make your entries in the appropriate places, click the Submit button, and that product will be up for sale. It takes probably 2-3 hours before that data is replicated, pushed to our front end, which is our front website, and that search picks it up. It usually takes about, I usually, like if the seller submits a product today, for example, I would say, well, it's available to list tomorrow. If you list it after the 24-hour period, look to the site picking that product up and including it in search about 3 to 4 hours. And that is really it in regards to the new product tool. Again, it's located in Manage New SKUs. Just simply click Add New SKUs, and you'll see the interface here that will lead you into the new product tool by simply clicking the Add button.